I bet it wasn't even Sid that sent the box with her head in it.
The finest silks from
bet it's like the mom or something.
Come, come, feel its softness.
Just eliminating enemies.
Sausage, all from greens-fed farm birds. None of the old courses you'll find elsewhere. Here, take a bite.
I've got peppers and peas, beans and beets. If it goes in a pot, I've got the lot.
Curatives, restoratives,
Look all you like, sir. It's all fresh. Picked this very morning.
Restoratives, unguents, ointments, poultices, calmatives, curatives, restoratives.
Calmatives, curatives, restoratives.
Ointments, poultices. Might I interest you in a potion, milady? Perhaps a soothing salve to ease the aches of the road? I'm sorry. I wish you well, but may the mothers guide you. Calmatives, curatives, restoratives, unguents, ointments, poultices. Calmatives, curatives, restoratives.
5 years later. Oh.
It's good to see you, Sid.
Huh?
What have we learned? The bearers are locked up in an old courthouse on the edge of town. And
Stole his name?
Tell you who is there to make sure they stay that way.
Kupka's private guard.
It's a trap. And not a very good one at that.
Another? What does he hope to gain from this?
Maybe they keep the rebellion going.
I'll have the captives free before nightfall.
You do nothing of the sort. Our comrades didn't give their lives for you to get your throat slit in a god's forsaken slum.
So those in the courthouse should be left to suffer.
That's not what I said. I simply meant it doesn't have to be you who frees them. Damn it all. You're as stubborn as the old Sid was.
Oh, he burned off his mark too. Or looked more like he sliced it off.
Just
Jesus.
Don't say I didn't warn you. You're Sid now, and if anything happens to him, we're finished.
I don't think it's a title. I think they just don't want people to know that Sid is dead. So people don't lose hope, you know? Because he was like the whole commander of everything. His name was like
Please,
Sidolphus
we
or
don't know
something.
anything.
Something stupid.
You have to believe us. We'd help you if we could.
But you're helping us already.
Forgive him, my lord. He did not mean to offend.
Quiet, you!
No sign of Hugo.
I'll wager he thinks as highly of his minions' traps as we do.
Then this should be easy.
Don't hurt us. I beg of you.
Quiet means quiet, branded scum.
Oh, branded scum. Filth. I hate working with those people.
It's going to be all right. I'm here to even the odds. Any objections?
It's him! The outlaw! Sid's here! Come on!
Safety first.
Go! Summon the others!
I love the armors. They're like what? Ottoman armor or something maybe? I'm not sure.
Safe.
The fuck is this? Blind justice?
Sid dies here!
How do I shoot? I'm pressing everything! How the fuck do you shoot? It's the same button again. Alternate between 3 now. That means I have 6 abilities to spam now.
Balls in here! Bring me his head!
Feels like auto attack is barely gonna be a thing anymore. There's so many cooldowns to use. And I think there's slot for one more god, right? If you look at the bar bottom right. Oh, this is melee.
Enough of this! Let him play with the kitten! They brought a pet.
Whatever they're called.
You'll pay for what you've
That's a
done.
big dog.
Those things are fast.
We'll have to be faster.
War Panther. What the fuck? I'm parrying it. Even if I die for it.
Nice try.
Wow, that wasn't perfect. Oh! Dun, 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 dun.
To hell with this!
Combat is so nice when everything works out.
Let them.
You get your parries, you get your dodges, you get your hits in, your punishes. fuck, man?
Murderer. All of our friends are dead because of you. Do you hear me? They used us as bait. Bait to lure you out of your stinking hole, all because you couldn't just let things be.
What are you even doing here? We never asked to be saved. Did you think we'd thank you? They'll never forgive us. We're all marked now.
For 5 years we fought to secure a better life for our kind. To see that we are treated as equals. Do you not want that?
What we want is to be left alone. Every time you show your faces, it is we who suffer.
It's all right. I'm sorry.
The fuck, are we Canadian now? Just kill them.
Just leave us be. This is our home, and this is where we'll stay.
Sid told us this wouldn't be easy. They'll come round.
If you say so.
We should go.
How old is that dog now? He was there when we were 15, was a pup. So 15 plus 5 is 20 years old now, at least. The fuck? Or was it 13 years? Oh, it's 18 years old then or so. He's gonna die soon, fuck!
That night 5 years ago, we destroyed what for many was a symbol of hope. For a reason they'll never know. We cannot blame them for thinking us the cause of their misery.
I'm ready for the dog awakening.
To give them a better tomorrow.
He's the icon of nature, and then Fenrir comes out of nowhere.
Yet the boil must be lanced if it is to heal.
I can't help but wonder if we've made the right choice.
When Sid said that he wanted to create a world where we were free. Free to choose our own path. I honestly don't think it mattered to him if that choice was right or wrong. Only that it was our own.
I miss him.
A world where we can live and die as equals. That's what he wanted. What we want. And that's why I bear his name. It's why we've all chosen to bear his legacy. And I'm not going to let anything stand in our way.
Ride's over, lovebirds. Home sweet home.
An actual spaceship, what the fuck? Sid did say something about it. Home sweet home.
Otto was asking after you. Let's go and see him.
Never a dull moment.
Welcome back, Sid. Finish with that log, so...
Otto will want to know what happened in Cosnes. I expect he'll be in the mess.
Now that I think of it, he hasn't mentioned Joshua yet. Oh, the new skill tree. Almost forgot to check. Ramu! Yo, it's gonna be all of them, right? Look how it's laid out. Like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more? Oh, 8. You think it's 4 more? No way, right? It's 8 elements, though. I think it's 5. This one is weird because it's Ifrit, and Ifrit is it was like a second icon of fire, which is weird because they're not supposed to be 2 dominant or something. Is this one new? Yeah, this one's new. I feel like I've seen this ability before in PoE. Judgment Bolt! I'm saving for it. Oh, and I want this upgrade. Save a Judgment Bolt after. Ah, I always go back from there. This skill felt like shit. Like, it looked so bad. No parry on this, huh?
Look, it's Sid.
Staying on this time.
He's a mage? I thought maybe like a magic parry? Nah, whatever, it doesn't matter. I already have 3 different parries anyway.
There you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sends his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Still can't work that one out. There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
Joshua hasn't revealed anything. But I think I was right about us just being a little power smoothie for the alien overlords. He called us a vessel to hold all the powers. The idea is probably that we just get all of the icons and then he just eats us up after.
I trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
What kind of lessons are
so
these?
hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here? Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured,
it's like Tactics over.
recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran.
And where?
Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even? Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was, adequate.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our resident historian.
Everyone seems so happy to see us. It's good to be home. Everyone seems so happy to see us.
Does that one have blood on it?
Hey, she's still alive.
Well, don't just stand there gawping. Going purse weighing you down.
Charges magic spells and maintains the charge into cast. Oh. That's interesting. Wow, 3% more?
Come again. Or don't. I'm not. Is it business? Oh, there are then.
Is this voice acted?
And what can I do for you?
It's not.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
It half is.
You're our leader now, Clive. Wash yourself out there.
Clive, you're back. You didn't happen to run out of potions while you're away, did you? We've a fine selection of tonics and tinctures. Oh, perhaps you'd be interested in some new accoutrement. Gear.
Is he trying to say accessories?
What do you need? What do you want?
11 bolts.
No scratches, all right? That it?
Oh, sick! Hey, isn't that the Dark Knight weapons? I think it is. But I'm not sure. Let's see.
This plank will have to be.
The sheath is too small for this sword. Test it out. Any peasants? I can't slice inside town.
Charlie says I can't go and play until I finish my songs.
Old Farmer Otto keeps both chocobos and antelopes. After 5 of his stock fell ill, he put them in his barn to rest. However, Otto woke the next morning to discover that a leg eater had... what the fuck? A leg eater had found its way into the barn and devoured 3 of the limbs of one of his antelopes. To make certain all remaining legs were accounted for, the Italian settlement counted 13. How many chocolos were there in the barn? I guess 6? If there's 13 legs. And Antelope lost 3 and had 4 before. Unless chocobos have 3 legs or some shit, I don't fucking know.
Escape from the slave markets. How'd you manage that?
I had some help, but it was mostly luck.
Oh, but it doesn't say how many antelopes they had though.
I learned something new. You'll be the first to know. Now off you go.
Take a check for the 7. Game does look great, right? I think I would like the game to be a bit more difficult. Like bosses doing maybe 2 or 3 times more damage or so. It's a bit too easy peasy right now for my taste. Yeah, New Game Plus, but it fucking sucks, right? That harder difficulty is locked by New Game Plus. I think it would be really nice to experience the harder fights right away instead of for a second time. Thank you, Mototoko, with 6.
Lawsman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
A heavy leather-bound tome containing the findings of one Anaximander of Canver, a renowned theologian who spent most of his life chronicling Valestea's diverse religious history. Sounds boring as fuck. Burn the book now.
Already? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head.
I can check if there's anything. Harpocrates? Oh, that's him. No, there's nothing new. Oh, hey, there's lore about this, though. Established under the leadership of Clive Rosswood, who took on the title of Sith after his former leader's passing, and the Titan's destruction of the old hideaway. It's a community of like-minded individuals from across the realms together to build a place where people can live and die on their own terms. Like its predecessors, it's built within the fallen ruins deep within the deadlands of the Central Storm. Decidedly unlike its predecessor, however, it's located in the center of a lake, but numerous across those while invading in. Got it! We're shooting them before they can dock.
Without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day. Gav will be back soon.
Oh, Gav didn't die. Gav now.
Not back a blade, but
Jesus
you're already
Christ.
offsetting everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget.
Oh, they really
a
did
rider
cut it
was here
off.
with the letter
Jesus.
from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a stolus. All right. I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
Yeah, they have scores, but you don't know if they like burn it or not, or something else. Maybe like magic tattoo removal. But no, they just use a fucking knife. But isn't it so suspicious? Like, you have all these
I should be getting back to it.
people exactly have the same scars in the spot where the brands are supposed to be.
Have you been to the toll? I hear in your shoes.
The Republican army marches on the Empire twin side of the Men of the Rock. The Men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. I'll see you're done to wear upon my return.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kuka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance. The one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste
they do know.
such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima.
We're soul fighting him, right? A demon's gonna break free or something?
If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does.
Joshua's good for sure.
To
to a world without Mother Crystal.
We just don't know his motivations yet. And also, we don't know how he resurrected besides being the Phoenix.
To Sid.
I guess it's just his Phoenix powers. Oh, that's such a nice sword. He kind of looks like Griffiths.
So the North is lost.
If his hair was white and a little bit longer.
The blood spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
There's more enemies than just the aliens. The Holy Empire, dude. The Titan guy. I mean, fuck, man. The whole Empire is like... this entire region, entire country full of fucking racists.
Leave the rest.
Also, they're draining the planet with that mother crystal thingy, so they're literally destroying the planet. Is the only thing I have. The oath. No, there's loot in this place. Ah, fuck. Ah, it's huge. I'll check one corridor every time I come back here.
This plank will have to be replaced.
Oh, I bet this ship is gonna get repaired or something. We're powered up. Flying to that red dot. Killing the aliens. And then finally prove that the Earth is not round, it's flat.
It's not deep. It won't be long now, Martel. Try your angles.
Much was lost when the first hideaway fell. Colleagues and friends. Years of hard work. But we did not let that loss defeat us. And our work will not be in vain. No. The spirits of our fallen comrades live on in every leaf and limb you see here.
Okay. 1 out of 6 or 7 corridors explored. Next time I come back, I'll check the other ones. Is this the right way? It goes there eventually.
Charlie says I can't go.
No one works longer or harder than our Otto. You can scour the whole of Storm and Ash, and you won't find a better man.
Okay.
Rosaria's not so kind to
Oh, she has long
these
hair
days.
now.
If you're
Fuck.
bound for the rest, make sure you keep your wits sharp and your
Why is it
steel
shaped
sharp.
like that though? What the fuck? Or moving like that rather. Wait, did she say something?
Rosaria's not so kind to travelers these days. If you're bound for the rest, make sure you keep your wits sharp and your steel sharper.
Today, climb visit the infirmary to have me translate installation his left forearm. Huh.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Who's he calling furless? Oh, it's not available yet. Oh, looks like a bounty board for boss fights.
Have you finished sorting?
There's a quest.
Clive, is everything all right?
That mark on their face. Don't speak to me, you branded slave. I don't like working with these people.
Damn blighted bilge.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry'll keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rock for a moon or so. Assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed,
live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
The fucking quest name is Cock and Balls?
Easier than felling a forest, I said. Trees don't have teeth.
It didn't stick into the enemy. What? It even gets targeted over enemies. Oh. Okay. A weird summon. I thought it was gonna go inside the enemy and then you hit it and then change to others, but seems weird.
I can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Actually, let's just turn in the quest. Don't know if it's gonna chain into another quest or something. Yeah, maybe with staggered enemies. We'll see. Fast load times for this, huh? Maybe it's normal load times. PTSD from the Diablo 4 load times. There's so many of them.
Finish with that log.
Welcome back, Sid.
Well, did you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
Ugh! Reeks like a chocobo's arse. I don't suppose the Argo will mind as long as he stays above the waves.
Argo? Sailboat has a name. I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as me old man. He was a ferryman himself back before the Blight came. The boat's all I have left of him. And thanks to you, he'll sail another day.
Hey, there's something new. 10 something. I wonder if that stacks. Oh, they stack. Anyway, what was that new thingy I got? It's like 10 something. It's not here. I never opened a journal before? Oh shit. It gave me the tutorial now. Okay. Yeah, whatever, I guess.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
I'll stay where we are for now, I reckon.
No quests. No.
Let's get you to a physical, shall we?
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Kind of the green stuff again.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
If those horses touch down.
It's level 19 here.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields? Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
Oh, it changed them too. That's neat. It doesn't target passive mobs. Who's passive now, bitch? That poor spider. He was just chilling. And then some guy sticks a fire sword up his ass right into his mates too. And slashes him in like 4 different pieces.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished.
Black Shield.
Such is
New
the
mob.
law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long. Is that all of them?
I think so. I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
I don't think he's gonna be alive.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg his aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that
Did they
awaited
put them all in
and
the
they chose
bag, or
to
what the
meet
fuck
it
is
on
that?
their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump.
Not even individual bags for the ashes of each.
If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
I've been had. Oi, what do I got? Ariman or something? Shaitan! Ariman, rank C? It's a bounty. Every now and then, Clive may encounter creatures larger, faster, and more ferocious than most. While flight is always an option, defeating these notorious marks can earn him not only renown, but also rare materials that may be used to craft new gear or upgrade existing items.
Do you think it's spotted us, Torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball. Too slow. Nice try. Give me thunder! Too slow. Nice try. Nice try.
There's nothing, huh?
Too slow.
Ah, almost parried it. like double damage or something. $5K for that, wow.
You didn't see that coming.
Cool fight. Even though it was such a small shitter.
That must be the bridge.
Oh man, the hunts are gonna go for all the iconic monsters, right? It's gotta be. It's gonna be Tomberries, it's gonna be Behemoths. I bet the Iron Giant is gonna come back too.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden. And bear it out.
Mickey Mouse, iconic Final Fantasy boss Mickey Mouse, of course, him too.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
I think Gilgamesh is gonna be a regular boss at some point. Probably near the end. Gilgamesh is usually like maybe like 4 or 5 bosses before the absolute final boss. I wonder what his version is gonna be like. And his theme song. He gets a new theme song every game too. There already is Odin. We saw Odin in one of the cutscenes. It was sick. He's huge. Mountain-sized horseman. Just casually slicing into a battlefield.
Thank you, Founder.
I was so confused as a kid when I fought Gilgamesh in 5. Because he showed up with this weapon called Excalibur. And it was just like this replica garbage weapon with 1 damage.
They called him.
I just didn't understand. They're so stupid.
No one survived then.
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones.
Men!
If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young cursebreakers.
Side quest.
Try not to move. Yours will make it worse.
Oi! You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
Wonder if that's gonna be my ride.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way.
It's just so Witcher-like, the way he speaks and the way the camera pans.
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
Dead bandits. They're really your hunting bandits.
We got you cornered, Feathers.
There's no way these peasants
you didn't
win.
Think you seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Where's Jill?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts.
Isn't Jill with us?
You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
See? Oh shit, he's not stunned! Oh, no. That lightning skill is not balanced. Like the rod on the ground, it is not balanced. That shit is a straight up double damage, I think. It just does an extra hit whenever you hit. Not sure what the damage number is though, because there's too much shit going on.
Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be.
I thought the one burned up from Ifrit. Huh. Cool stuff.
It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon.
Chocobo! Goodbye, dog. We have a new dog.
And it seems our pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Free saddles! Yeah.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Wonder what would have happened if I skipped that quest. That was a side quest.
Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
No, I need you now. A bespoke saddle and blinders worn by Clive's childhood chocobo, Ambrosia. Quote, que. Let's fucking go.
Ready, go? Yeah!
Can I slide?
Whoa!
I can slide! Ah, shit! But no music for Chocobo? Samir! Sharp right! I think I'm done here. Main quest! Double check. I guess the quest will show up. No, I think there's no nothing.
Where's Gav?
Gav should be back by now.
Thank you, Slaynit, for the 14. The Door XP Fake with the 15. Small dinosaurs, 363. Elkira L Fake with the 13.
I hear there's trouble.
What do I name the Chocobo? I will name the Chocobo Danny.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, we're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
No eye patch?
So, you remember how quick the Empire was
Another
to
mother
occupy
crystal.
the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals.
Huh.
4 mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the 7 High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Hey, and the bounty board. Let's go! I love these mini boss fight huntings.
What are we waiting for?
There's a side quest there.
Indeed.
I think it's alright to touch him.
Long now, Martel. Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died.
She fucking died.
Finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She read the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martell apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martell? Today's finally the day.
No, the scar shaped exactly like the mark is not suspicious to people, apparently. I was thinking the same too, but that was an NPC just now, the chocobo one. He didn't even notice it.
Did you come through the forge today?
I always take this path, fuck. Ah, I get there eventually.
And you say Sid built this place?
Oi!
What's the matter, Nectar? The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
I am the mightiest of all the Mughals. No fiend of the forest or ghoul. Oh, I couldn't finish eating it.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the curse breakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
I'm gonna bite into that orange ball like an apple. Oh, I see. The mob's already out there. I killed this one. Angel of Death! Okay, let's have a look after I turn in this quest. Actually, does this show here? Oh no, it doesn't show. In fact, I don't even think I can go because the main quest locked me into this.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here. Courtesy of Martell.
Martell. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back.
Blimey!
I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab them right from the branch, made Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Arg! How's pathing work here?
That broom's as ragged as... I hear there's trouble in Rosario.
I think it's all right to touch him.
Back, are ya? What do you want? And?
Crafting is so underutilized in this game, isn't it? I feel like the game is just giving me the best items possible at all times. And I barely ever craft at all. Maybe it's more of a post-game thing where you actually have to hunt for materials. But in story mode so far, it's just unused pretty much.
The Cursebreakers sent their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind. Even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die?
Oh my god. That sounds so sad. Fuck.
She put everything into her work. She wasn't gonna rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
A basket of slightly stunted and somewhat sweet apples grown from the blighted earth thanks to the dedication and perseverance of one woman, Martel. May she rest in peace. Still, we'll go something worth eating one of these days, and when we do, you'll have first pick. Yeah, we have some kind of trophy room. I guess that's my second trophy now. The first one was the promise between Sid and Clive, where they stuck daggers into a crystal. I guess that's it. Yeah. Thank you, Vicious Kako, for the 3 months. Tansin, thank you for the 20. Bonus stats on those. On gear, yes. Those collectibles, no.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
Revenge.
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber. Let's go.
Hey, Chocobo music.
Yeah.
No, just on mounting.
Thanks, Gal.
Oh, it's the other side of this place. It was blocked off before.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing, we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
Black shields. Don't even have a shield.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the millers?
You're a long way from home, aren't you?
Much obliged. I suppose we won't be seeing you again.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Was it the one I killed?
Keep your ears open, eh?
Hey?
The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones. We're going hunting for outlaws. How'd you like that, boy?
Free.
There was a time my husband might have stood up to those men. Though back then, he wouldn't have needed to.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shield. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
But what do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pole.
Then we shall be on our way.
Pussy.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Fly, Ambrosia! This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Oh, whoa, 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 what the fuck is this?
Ever since the apodatory, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
What the fuck? I see. it leaves a debuff on them. If you hit them, they explode or something. And interesting enough, the debuff makes them go up, so you can juggle them more. Cool stuff. It's kind of shitty though, I think. Yeah, juggling is hard. What is this? Item. Bull's Horn's Blade. 5% launch damage. Oh ho ho, it's the Black Shields!
More of my mother's men. It's over.
They are so weak. Who said in my chat earlier that another player set the HP was too high on mobs? I find that it's way too low. You barely get to play. It's like half a rotation of my cooldowns and they're dead. I had no expectations for this game before I started playing it. I simply hope for the best. Oh, he died before. Jeez, the cooldowns are ready before I even finish using the other ones. I just have like perma spells to spam. It's actually very similar to Forspoken, how it eventually became. You just rotate between like all 4 elements, spamming all the cooldowns.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again.
I'll show you a true shifter's Awaken, wizard!
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps.
Who?
They await you in Oldhill. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Why would he tell me? I died one time in this game. I got one shot by a hellfire from my shadow. I didn't see the AoE circle because there was so much shit going on. Unluck, really. There's no punish for death in this. Well, besides like replaying the fights. Seems like there's checkpoints anyway though in fights, so
something, boy.
Very small punish.
Death.
Oh, found her.
What the fuck? What's with the birds?
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
And the mothers are birth mothers, as far as we know. I'm leaning towards her being a fucking alien or something. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Is she hot though? Oh, she's fucking smoking.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Didn't happen to come by way of Oldhill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morn, you couldn't see the sun for all the ravens.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
Hush now. You didn't hear nothing.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
They refuse us passage back to our homes.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed! Be gone!
That's climbable.
You find no succor to the south travellers, nor beyond the Buet. The Empire has seen fit to banish us from our own land. You find no succor to the south travellers.
Don't go thinking you'll find refuge in the houses outside Port Isolde. The place is a wretched hive of thieves and blackguards.
No way that skill is balanced.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
I want crap now. Oh fuck. Okay, yes. But the other wins could be good now? Yeah, maybe, right? The claw spam one? With the lightning attack. Would be really nice DPS just for hitting staggered mobs. No, I don't really mind my current combo. I think difficulty is not really a thing, so I just play whatever is cool.
Let us pass! My children are starving! Have mercy! Voice for the dogs they are! You can't
The only damage I'm ever taking is when I'm trying to parry.
who would die on your doorstep! Better out there than in here! Fuck off! Hang the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all! I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties! Cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
No notice if they're all dead. Just burn them all.
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus.
The rabble.
We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. And the entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
I like the story's pacing. They're really trying to tell an epic tale.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield.
I really feel the budget in that one.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
A lot of these type of games, like these action adventure games, they're so limited to like 8-hour playtime, and then it's over. Obviously, it's a budget thing too. And seemingly, this game just has infinite money thrown at it. Except for the side quests. They really skimped out on those.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Sewer level. Maybe fighting Malboro again. What else do you fight in sewers? Behemoth in that other game, in the remake.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
Who are these bumps? Get out of my way!
Or not.
Why are you gasping?
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
What? He's alive?
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
Wade and Tyler?
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us.
No one died in that fucking fort.
Founder, it really is you.
What the hell?
So wait.
my lady.
We can speak inside.
Oh, by the way, 8 of your men are now ash.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
At least you're not dead.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily
I
sent us to
spared
the
them.
mud.
Yes, I did.
Allow me to tend to your needs, my lord.
Elixirs, 10k each, instantly for you. One. I buy one.
Of course, my lord.
For a rainy day.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buick Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed.
Battle on a bridge, huh?
So wait.
Maybe Gilgamesh.
Laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
I think the other one did die. I don't know. Like, they were all at the fortress, right? And they were all supposed to have died by Ifrit from the giant blast on the crater and everything, but then everyone just kind of slipped out randomly, and now here we are.
We'll show them the fire in our heart. We'll keep them from the
Did we see the
bridge.
dad die? I don't remember.
worry.
He was on the chocobo. The chocobo got slashed. And then he got stabbed in the chest or something. Oh yeah, he did die.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
They'll get the chocobos.
Faster!
Faster! The music is bait. It's just one tune and it stops.
Look at me sideways.
Come along now.
The bastards are looking.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
You deserve a rest.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy
They always have so much dialogue.
a woman,
It's
and a
longer than the
dog
fight.
could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields. Then come! Die along with your flame!
Oh, it's so funny.
Forest area!
Forest area!
Your petty revolution ends here.
Welcome to the fog
On
train.
these our swords, we swear. Bloody hell!
What? Yeah.
Reinforcements from the far bank.
Give me thunder!
Oh my god.
More dragons! Worms. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
Ah! It's fucking stuck targeting this thing.
A noble stand.
Oh!
Albeit a misguided one.
Another dragoon.
In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
My phone's going off. Smart call says it's a spam. Fucking spammers. Ah, wrong skill.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Ah, too late.
Nice try.
He dies too fast, man. I wanted to fight him more.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place.
We're in front of the enemy castle.
Yet be that as it may.
This is not the place to have a speech.
And we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
I love how these towns look.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Admiral Gunga here.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue!
Hmm? Hmm? Hmm.
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
The pose. Oh no.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always always were fond of that scene from The Saint of the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
On your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing.
That's funny. I love the writing in this game.
The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy. But now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Ain't no Final Fantasy with no ship. It's always in that order. Chocobo, ship, airship. And then fucking spaceship to the moon or whatever.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she? Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
If this bitch says no. Oh, okay.
When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could.
She's the ice dominant, yeah. She's Shiva.
And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
That's the biggest death flag I've ever seen. And I watch Korean shows. We also need ice powers at some point, I suppose. But I guess the person when he takes it from doesn't have to die. Like the Garuda was taken and she didn't die initially. She just like kinda went ham or whatever. I'm gonna go toilet for the spear back. Thank you so lit for the 9 months. Oof, Fangler 25. How would I rate the game so far? I'd say like an easy 9. At least. And do Danny Fangler 21 as a tier 2. Some guy no one knows Fangler 62. V0101 Fangler 5. This is such a high quality game. For the most part. Not all of it.
Could probably make an educated guess.
Oh, the new song. No, it's not this one, I think. I think the side quests kind of vary. There's some okay ones. Like the ones that depicted all the races were kind of nice to go through. Especially when those 2 races got fucking eaten by wolves. But then like the ones where you deliver mules and stuff, like
Take you for a scholarly van.
Oh, this?
Eh.
Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
They call us Sid now, yeah.
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
I wouldn't be surprised
Fantastic.
if
Thank you.
maybe Sid was the main character first. They recorded all these voice lines. Then they changed to the main character at some points.
Chances
They kept the lines.
stew. It was once a favourite among the Gormans of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
Sid just straight up died, dude. He got pierced throughout his entire body from that monster, Typhon or whatever. And then the night before he died, we yoinked his powers.
That monster's taken quite
Oh, oops.
I could have sworn we had a few more. Typical nobles.
How's the dominant past? I think it's kind of like in the Avatar, where like every so many years, a new one just gets born.
How did we never
Probably
hear
randomly
of our
chosen by the
Guardians of Flame
icons.
posted every day?
Actually, no, it was more
Not enough
bloodline based,
swords
wasn't
to
it?
see to them.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. That normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what do you say?
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
In it!
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
She looks like the mercenary from Game of Thrones. Fuck, what's his name? The dude who got a castle for doing his mercenary work. And Bran. Oh, it was Bran. I was thinking of Bran, but that's the shit kid. Okay. Clairview-Sunbeek. Let's go there first. Oh, but there's still the quest here, fuck. Let's do all the side content first before I move on to the main story.
It will be over soon. One way or another.
What the fuck?
First August, and now you. What you pair up to? What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like every clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. There. You happy? You got what you came for. Now piss off.
All right. We're going.
Sounds like a gear upgrade quest.
I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning himself. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems. We need to nip this in the bud.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. We need to speak to Karen.
Karen.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady.
Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Happened across him on my travels. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit. So I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said,
The music makes
he's a
it
bit of
sound
an odd
so
one.
ominous.
Doesn't even have a workshop. He don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time
I
out
changed the
tracking
music.
beasts
It's not
as he
supposed to be
does
here.
working their hides.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted?
Oh.
Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe.
Oh, is that
Northern.
the Angel of
That
Death,
was
maybe?
it.
Not sure. It was
Thank
also
you,
there.
Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leather worker.
Nice.
I'll
Two
leave
quests
the
in one
hunting
spot.
to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down.
Let's go on the story now. We're about to take a boat to a different continent.
Could have sworn we
It's actually the place where Joe is from, I think. The Iron Mount or something. What's this? Desiree?
Oh,
I lost.
Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Oh, here we go. Renowned, inspiring nameless benefactors across the twins. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it gives stuff. I have exactly 85 for Berserker's Ring.
You earned this.
Oh, wait. It's not...
All
You don't
yours.
spend it.
You earned this.
It's more like a mark you go for. Okay.
All done?
Increase attack for each dodge I make. Alright. Oh, a 7 attack. Goodbye.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye? Think you can help?
Let me double check the names. One was... Oh. Oh, this quest is here too. Dosmer. Okay, let's do these two then. Clairview and Cairnorvent Westgate. Almost like a Witcher name for the castle. Cairnorvent. What's the other one called in Witcher? Cairnohun or something? It's Rosaria. Morhen. Right, that's the one. I guess it's here. What do I check? No, that's here. Wait, I have another side quest here. Is it just... Oh, I see. It doesn't go away. Okay. Guess it's here. Shit. Game worth buying? Sure is, man. Sure is. One was called Clairview and the other one was something. Fuck. It was not glorious, at least. Ah, whatever. Let's start the Clairview one. And it was gate something, right?
Come on.
Should be around here, perhaps. Maybe I just run into it. Yeah, this game is pretty good, but never as good as Forspoken. My goodness, that was a good game. Now that I think about it, the chocobo, this white chocobo here that I'm riding on has had better dialogue than the main character in Forspoken. Oh. Holy fuck, this vertical jump. Hey, they can glide. Gliding be faster?
You deserve a rest.
There is no coin to be had in this miserable land. Even if they wanted to trade with us.
I know. It was hard for us Dalmex here in Sanbreque before the capital fell, but now we'd be stoned if we even approached Northreach.
I don't think there's another gate. So maybe the mob is just like here somewhere. Yeah, right? There's no other gate. Ah, fuck. Let's look around first. On the map, maybe? I don't know. I think the other maps are all Rosalia. But I need to double check.
Run like the wind.
Left entrance. It's at West Gate, right? Then it could be this one here. A River Gate. Let's do one run for this place. Might as well. Maybe we'll find other stuff anyway too. Wonder if the mob like drops down or something.
Someone's brave.
Or if I'm gonna see it from far. Alright, the jump is a scam. And it sucks ass. Nah, guess it's not here. Mob's only level 15. Guess I'll just check the end of this. Doubt there'll be a boss fight though, in such a narrow place.
Alright.
Item. Ragnarok. Chocobo can't fly? Says you. Black Chocobo can fly. Samir! Hard left! Oh, you get a dash for the slide. Hey, who's not riding right now? Oh, that's not ours. Okay. There is a monster here somewhere. I think I see it already. No, wait, that's an air elemental. The fuck? Wait, that's a griffin? Griffins have tits? That must be the Angel of Death instead. Level 27.
This isn't gonna be easy.
Why is my dodge like this? Oh, it's stacking the damage. Special animation for it. Oh fuck. Too late. Next, where's the griffin? Clouded eye.
Rest well. I know I will.
Okay, well, I suppose it's on this side. The damage is crazy. If you turn on the devil trigger together with the lightning rod and then the ignition, that's just like fucking 20k damage by itself. Oh, it's fucking busted. What the fuck is this dead end? Oh, it's above. I want to return to stone for using my powers. I think it's kind of like a battery. If it runs out, you turn to stone. Also, we might be special. Special. All of my way, scum!
Good girl. You deserve a rest.
I'm fucking smurfing on these mobs, man. Fuck. Get me out. Bruh, you used the hyper chat. I put the minimum up to like $100 just so people wouldn't use it. And now I have to look at this stupid message forever. Bruh. I guess it's here?
Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey.
Oh yeah.
Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew.
I got the voice at least, for the dialogue. Rank B. What level though? I'm 27 right now. 28 only.
Other work will have to wait. Orgel, look sharp. Too slow.
Terrible. Oh, oops. Oh, fucking hell. Oh my god.
Fire and flame!
Oh my god, the homing on that. I have to dodge last seconds. Oh, it's close. What's the timing point? Fuck. Oh fuck! Oh, you can dodge that. What the fuck? New material. Which means new weapons. Dun, 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 dun. I have to do it myself because the fucking game won't play that song ever.
Is something there, boy? Could that be our man?
The man can wait. I see loot.
Are you alright?
Dare say I'll survive. That griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off. Must have lost sight of me in the grass, though. I'd be dead if it hadn't.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille. I'm a lowly leather worker, if you couldn't tell by the smell of me.
Not so lowly from what I hear. Do you remember selling to a merchant by the name of Karen?
She's not an easy woman to forget. Bought a cuirass from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work, as far as I recall. Didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance, though. She sent you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
Well, consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art, and not an easy man to impress.
Blacksmiths are proud folk. It's a rare thing indeed for one to praise a glorified tanner. And I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself would be getting your steel from any but the best. I'd dearly love to help a fellow craftsman, but... Well, actually, I suppose you could give him this.
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff I used to make that cuirass. If your man's as skilled as he sounds, he'll know what he's looking at.
You sure?
Well, you did save my life. And thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griffin hide I can carry. I'd say it's the least I can do. Short of showing him how to make the thing myself, that is. But there are rules against it. Secrets of the trade and whatnot.
In that case, I'll see that he gets it.
I'd be much obliged if you would. Right. I've got some greaves to make. You send your blacksmith my regards.
Will do. And thank you. Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood.
Job done. Oh, the other one was here somewhere, but I have a quest here too. Oh, it shows the marks actually. But does it show like the positioning? I guess not. Oh, unluck. Maybe it's in my journal. No, man. Fuck. There's no way, right? I'm forced to go back to base just to check the board to see where exactly it is in what region? Maybe I recognize it if I see the names. Curse this shit memory! Alright, we're heading back. Ah, bleh. 32? You think my age has anything to do with my memory? It's so kind of you to think I had good memory as a kid.
That monster's taken quite a liking to
And with a bit of luck. How'd it go, Clive? Did you find him, or does the hunt continue?
I found him. And he asked me to give you this, along with his regards.
You're joking.
He said he wouldn't teach you how to work it, but that if you were as skilled as you sounded, you'd have no trouble understanding how it was done.
So that's his secret. Crafty bastard. He's layered and cross-grained it. Good few times, too. No wonder it's tough. And that's no ordinary oil he's used to get that finish. Oh, this is fine work. Even finer than I thought.
Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Just looks like leather to me. Still, I'm glad you're happy. Here, Clive. You didn't happen to catch the fella's name, did you?
Camille, I believe.
I thought as much. There ain't many leather workers in the realm daft enough to do their own hunting, see? And his name kept cropping up when I was asking around. Turns out he's from Tabor. And again, most leather workers are. But our friend Camille guards a long-held family secret, the details of which are the subject of some debate in the leather-working community.
Then we better keep this close to our chests.
Listen, sorry for putting the both of you to all that trouble. Should have kept my moaning to myself. Still, I'm glad you found him. This has cheered me right up.
That was the idea. Clive's idea, anyway. He did most of the work.
It's good to have you back,
of the
Blackthorn.
work.
Just don't expect me to go turning out work like this. There's a reason he does his own hunting. He knows exactly what hides to look for. And that's how he gets them to layer up so nicely. And don't get me started on how much oiling this leather would need. But I reckon I can make something about as good. Something a Cursebreaker will have no trouble caring for. Anyway, enough narrowing. I've got work to be getting on with.
Gotta check what mats the thing crafts into too.
Looks like we won't be needing a new blacksmith.
As if there was a better one out there. I wouldn't have been the same anyway. No one spins a yarn like old Blackthorn in his cups. Right, now that's sorted, I've got duties to attend to. Thanks, Clive. You've given me my mate back.
Drake Slayer's belt. It's one of the few side quests in the game that give me proper upgrades. Maybe it uses the fangs I have like 600 of.
Clive. I'm saying for you, dear.
What about that other thing? Oh, it's all worse. Electrum. Huge upgrades. Looks like it's from a hunter. It's the same icon. Okay.
Anything else?
Let's check the board real quick. Now they remove the brands with a knife. No joke. Some lady was saying something about a scalpel slicing off the skin where the brand used to be.
Sworn we had a few more. Typical nobles.
How did we never hear about these?
Oh, new mobs too, maybe. Why is he having his icon here? No. Broken Hilt, Rosaria. Oh god, the music stays. I need to change the music next time I come here. Oops. Free reads, might as always. One of these, huh? At the top, maybe. Oh, broken nails. Okay. That's probably one of my favorite parts of these kind of games. We just go around hunting rare mobs, strong mobs, boss mobs. It's got that Monster Hunter vibe, you know? Oh, maybe it's in that place where the old man was standing. There haven't been rare mobs until now. It's a new feature basically unlocked as you progress in the story. Move out of my way! Oh, that must be it. I like the gibberish on the bottom left. Level 30.
First area.
That's the highest damage I've seen so far. By a lot. Oh, that's another projectile! Oh my god! The fucking breath! Oh shit. That stupid breath spam.
Too slow.
Oh wow, big reward for this.
Hope there aren't any more of them.
These fights are nice. But they're too short. I want to fight it longer. Let's see, how much AP do I have? 1700. I can pick up something nice. Oh, how about this upgrade? What does it do? Number of lock-ons. Sounds kinda bad. I think it only takes too long to get the current amount of lock-ons, which is 6. Increases range, sure. I think I don't care about these things. No. Oh, I can now put the limit break. Get an extra bar out. My heatwave is already upgraded. The mastery only lets me use it in other slots. But I kinda like all the spells I have in their respective slots.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other, don't we?
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got the gill, I got the goods. What can I do you for?
Unwanted violets, if you have them. Though I'd gladly settle for learning what they are if you don't.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that since I was a lad. You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back in the day. They turn a wicked purple when you boil them up. Hence the name. Used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on
Judgment
offer.
bolts.
When there was a war on, that sort of
I don't
thing.
like the long cooldowns though.
Thankfully, times aren't yet as hard as that. And even if they were, you wouldn't find anyone selling them these days.
Do the scorpions still live nearby?
I dare say they do. 3 Reeds would be your best bet. Memory serves.
Thank you. You've been most helpful.
It'll take ages to type.
What are you after? Thanks very much.
Stay sharp.
20k, yeah. Well, money isn't really used for anything in this game besides buying potions. And I never get hit, so, you know. No use for money. I guess there's some accessories that get sold sometimes for a decent amount. And I have like 1 billion things to sell still if I really need money. I have no idea what I have needs for of... like how many is it now? 800 sharp fangs, 600 magic ash, and 500 bloody hides, 300 steel silk. Well, what am I supposed to do with these things? Crafting uses like 20 of these or something at most. There's nothing to buy, so no reason to sell yet.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. $12 XP.
I better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad. Or any worse, at least. to the stables, girl.
Stay sharp.
Oh, wait. I'm not going back to the butcher. I need to change the music in this place. I don't want to listen to this eerie music. Sounds. It's not even music. Night terrors. That's all I want to hear when I get home.
Did you find our mystery ingredient?
I did indeed.
Marvelous! Let's see. What am I supposed to do with this? It's poisonous, surely.
You wouldn't be wrong. But that's your unwanted violet.
Into the pot it goes, I suppose. Wait here. I won't be long. I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm, not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss.
Death.
Odin's teeth. What the salt on the senses. It's like choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavors, but never have I tasted anything so fine. Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
You're, welcome.
I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's Stew sits before everyone in the hideaway. A single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm sure she will.
I think we ruined the hideout. $30 defense. It's quite a lot. But defense doesn't kill, so... Maybe I lower my damage so I can fight mobs for longer. Fights are too short right now. Plus defense will let me practice more with parries too.
I could have sworn we had a few more. Typical nobles.
No. Let's check this first. Oh, and maybe the boy too. Because I cleared everything now. Maybe new stuff showed up. Or it might be like story locked. Ah, story locked, I guess.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this. All done?
Okay, I think I've done everything there's to do until next main quest.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Quick look.
Yeah.
Seen enough?
Pretty sure I got everything. Okay, I'm gonna walk my dog real quick, and then we continue this. BRB, 10 minutes.